What up? What up? What up? Apparently, what we have here is a former police officer who basically was out pookieing Pookie. Let's check it out. I mean, this is the type of stuff that you would see in like a movie or something. Like, no lies detected. Just check it out.
With 19 News Now coming to you from our digital desk, we're about to take you live to a sentencing here in Cuyahoga County. It's like out of a bad movie or bad television show. We see it all the time. Cops who pull people over and then they steal, whether it's the money or the drugs or the guns. The only problem is this was happening in real life between July of 2021 and July of 2020 and July of 2021. There were a pair of cops in East Cleveland who have now pleaded guilty to multiple counts of robbery and theft in office. The officers were accused of making traffic stops and in one case stealing $4,000 from a car, in another case $5,000 from a car, as well as weed and in some cases handguns. This is the sentencing of Willie Sims. His partner in
So can they
crime,
get hit?
quite literally, was sentenced just Monday to the same set of charges.
So is this story is about 2 months old, and it definitely slipped past my radar. You know, other people might have been talking about it, came across it, whatever. But I'm thinking it's more than one officer that's involved in this. So couldn't they get hit with a RICO? I mean, I'm just putting the question out there. I don't know. I mean, seems pretty organized to me. And they using their badge to help them do dirt, harassing people, shaking people down. You know, even if you run up on a pookie, I mean, you sworn to protect and serve. And I know in theory, you know, y'all ain't really here to protect and serve, you know. But you took an oath. You took an oath to uphold the law. And then some of y'all out here doing more pookie shit than pookie. You're out pookieing them.
He was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison and a $40,000 fine by this exact same judge. Let's see if he makes the same decision here today for Willie Sims.
Each carrying anywhere from potential 9 to 36 months.
Fair use
$10,000
for educational purposes.
In the robberies, felony 5, and the final count, the theft in office is 6 to 12 months in prison. Post-release control here. The other cases are counts for Nelly.
Hold on.
State defense had a chance to look.
We're gonna get to the part where they actually talk about what's going on. Where we at? Let me see.
He chose to be a criminal. So for Willie Sims, we're here for 3 victims.
Okay, wait a minute.
They gave them
See what she talking about.
post-release control details, mandatory 1 year on the F3, up to 3 years on post-release control, and then up to 2 years on the felony of the 5th degree. May I move around the courtroom?
You may, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Man, they need.
We were here on Monday for sentencing of the
I don't know what them little partial years that she reading off, 2 here, 1 here. If you have a badge, if you're a police officer, and you get caught doing obvious, blatant stuff that you have no business doing, the book should automatically hit you in the face. The book need to be thrown at you. That's you wearing a badge, you got a gun, you have authority, and you make a conscious choice to step on the other side of the law because you think you're above the law. Nah, we not getting down like that, yo. The book needs to be in your face. At least 25.
co-defendant. And at that time, you heard me speak about how the residents of East Cleveland put a tremendous amount of trust into Willie Sims and Alfonso Cole when they gave them the tools of the trade, their badge and their gun and everything else that went with it. And I spoke about how when a person is stopped on a traffic stop or any other scene with a police officer, that if they are compliant, they deserve the respect and professionalism.
And that's another thing. You never know what some of these dudes, because these police officers are human too. They get into shit, like they get into debt and about to lose their house, and wife want a divorce. Now you have to pay alimony and child support. Oh shit, where am I gonna get this money from? I mean, I get it, but this is the profession that you signed up for. So ain't no boo-hooing now about it. Don't break the law. That's what y'all tell us, right?
From that police officer. And Willie Sims chose not to be a professional. He chose to be a criminal. So for Willie Sims, we're here for 3 victims, but 4 incidents. The first incident we charged, and he pled to, the victim is not present today. He was very disturbed and discouraged by this incident.
The victim is not present today. Is there any specific reason that he's not present? I mean, we're talking about crooked police officers right here. So I can go on the line and I can go as far as saying, do we know where the victim is right now? Because we don't, if this dude is a cop and he's willing to rob people, is it that far beyond imagination that he probably would be willing to disappear people? Is this not possible? Do we know exactly where the victim from July 7th, 2020 is? Hey, I'm just asking questions. Uncomfortable questions. But somebody needs to answer them.
And this happened back in July of 2020, so this is a while ago. And he's been living with the repercussions of it since. So this was the one incident that wasn't a traffic stop. This was a disturbance at a gas station. The victim worked for a beverage distributing company, and he had to go to this gas station for business on them receiving the beverages from his company. So he was going there to pick up a check. While he was there, a woman inside was just irate, was screaming at the cashier, started screaming at him. It became pretty chaotic. So after she was screaming at him, another person kind of came over to him like, are you bothering this woman? He goes back to his car. He removes himself from the situation. He does have a gun in his car he carries with him, as he's always traveling to these different spots for his job. He sees that these people are coming out of the gas station now. He goes to call 911, but before he can even call 911, police are already arriving on scene, call the disturbance. He said he was sitting in the driver's seat, he placed his gun on the front passenger seat so as not to be holding it. He said when he did that, a large amount of money, which he had carrying around for the job, also kind of fell out onto the console and the passenger seat. Also a pocket knife, he said, fell out. He said they did what's called a felony stop on him. The police basically ordered him out of the car at gunpoint.
So they could just scream that out then. Ain't got to be no paperwork. They could just say, hey, felony stop. They could have their burners out on you. This is a felony stop. Do what we say. How much money you got on you, sir? Paraphrasing. I'm just imagining that maybe situations can go down like that. Yeah.
He said he was really shaken up from this, but he complied, he walked back, they placed him in the back of their car and detained him. Now, during the investigation that the police were doing, Sims was the officer who was dealing directly with him and then did the inventory of his car. So they decided after everything ended that they were going to arrest the victim for an improper handling charge of having this gun in the car. And so they were going to tow the victim's car. The victim said, you know, listen, I have a big amount of money. This is a lot of money to me, $3,850. I have this money. It fell out. It's not with me right now. Can you make sure, you know, you secure that and bring it back? And Officer Sims told him, no, there was no money there. It must have fallen out of your pocket. Didn't look.
There was no money there. It must have fallen out of your pocket. Now, you officers out there that say you're good officers, these type of co-workers that you have put your lives in danger whenever you're around them. So you can turn the other cheek if you want. You can look the other way, pretend like you didn't hear nothing, you don't know nothing. They are dangerous to you too.
Look for it, didn't show any concern about it. They towed his vehicle, they arrested him. Those charges were later dropped or not followed through on. He said he did some sort of a probation, but looking at his criminal history, nothing shows. So not completely sure what happened there. Regardless, that was a very traumatizing event, and
So the victim don't have a criminal record. There's no record of him doing any kind of probation because he doesn't have any kind of record. No, none of the paperwork, the tea leaves, it's not tea in. So what's really going on?
a lot of money that just happened to disappear. The next two events are with one victim. That victim is present here today. If it please the court, I would ask for him to make an impact statement about those events, and if I may reserve a few minutes after he speaks to make a few last comments.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay. Mr. Jonathan Whitlow is here. He's going to speak about two events that happened in 2020 and 2021.
All right, sir. Can you state your name, please?
Yes, my name is Jonathan.
You know Pookie gotta come up in the cell looking like a Pookie. Bruh. You got him by the balls, man. You could get paid off their police department. The city of Cleveland. Man, you can at least come to court without a do-rag on, bruh. Come on, man.
Jonathan Whitlow, JONATHAN WHITLOW.
All right, Ms. Whitlow, I want to make sure we hear you. Can you speak into that microphone with your green light on?
Yes.
Okay, that's better. Great. Thank you. All right, now tell us, you have a right as a victim of a crime. What, can you tell us what happened to you? And what, as a result, how you felt about it, and what you think should happen there in this case. Go ahead, take your time.
The first time, my homeboy was driving the car. My friend was driving the car. It was 2 times. Well, it was actually 3. The second time he didn't get nothing because I ain't have nothing. The first time,
Tell me the first time.
the first time he pulled me over.
When about was this?
This was November 2020, I believe, around that time.
Okay. So you pull over, you're driving in East Cleveland, I think?
Yes, I was coming back from purchasing some marijuana.
Okay.
I went to go make a left turn.
This dude can't even talk without. Bruh, did you hit the joint? Did you hit the blunt before you showed up to court today, man? I mean, just look at his facial expression. It look like he lit right now. I'm surfing on a cloud. Smoking on the loud. All right.
He made a U-turn. He said that I almost hit him. But I mean, where the street is and where I was at, it's impossible. You know, it's virtually impossible. So he hit the U-turn, he blurted me, he turned on the sirens, he said what he had to say. My friend was in the passenger, so you know, I'm talking because it's my car. And because he made every excuse for why he stopped me, but I'm like, no, we weren't speeding. No, I was in the passenger side, it was my car. Yeah, it was my car. And I was basically dropping my friend off to his car. So when we made the left turn, we make a left turn to where my friend's car was. So like I said, I told him, you know, this is BMW Factory 10. They're not going to put it off the car lot if the tent's illegal. So, I mean, that's what he was trying to do everything off of. He never gave me a ticket. So I called these.
Man, I don't know about Ohio, but there's so many different states have so many different ways of looking at window tints and shit. I agree. If it comes off the assembly line, tinted a certain way, it shouldn't be a problem. Police, no, they shouldn't be allowed to even mess with you because it came off the factory line like that. And in some states, they honor that. And in other states, they don't. Well, other states, like overall, they might honor it. But certain cities and suburbs within that state, they try to use that as a loophole to mess with you. So that needs to be dealt with too. I stopped putting tints on my joints because it's like, man, it's just an unnecessary headache to even deal with. I mean, you ain't finna be pulling me over, wasting my time. I mean, if you want to waste your time, you know, go ahead. But you know, that's just an excuse for them to waste my time. I ain't got no time to waste.
East Cleveland, you know, to try to figure out where could I get the ticket to figure out what was going on. Didn't do none of that. I noticed that some of my money was missing. The reason why I never said nothing is because I had drugs in the car that he didn't find. So I dodged the bullet. That's how I looked at it.
You got this ticket, you got back in your car, and you noticed money was missing.
Yeah, because me and my homeboy got out. I was roughly about 13, close to that, 1,300. But I wasn't tripping. So then, yeah, because I had drugs on me. Like, if I get out of there I'd rather you can take the money than go to jail. I ain't tripping on that. So about a year later, probably less than that, is when this at the gas station happened, which I have him on camera. So I mean, all the faces he was making when she was describing the last one, he could do all that all he wants to. I got him on camera, it's on Facebook. And the troubling part of it, well, I pulled up while I was driving.
Oh, so somewhere in the courtroom is the actual crooked. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I'll be mad as hell too and shit. I'll be looking at dude. You make all the faces you want. Nigga, I gotcha. And the city of Cleveland, y'all gonna just cut the check.
Driving by, he is parked at the rallies right over there by the Foreman Mills.
Well, where's the rally? The rally's right by the...
In front of Foreman Mills going up Superior. So now this is it's rush hour traffic. So every car is jammed, you know, we're jam packed. So I see him come out. When he comes out, you know, he's going around, weaving around with the lights on. I'm not tripping because I'm like, well, hell, you know, nobody's speeding, can't know. I'm thinking he's going, you know, to go, maybe there's something going on, you know, in the neighborhood or something like that. He happens to get behind me. When he gets behind me, like me, I'm not noticing, you know, I'm not thinking that he's on me because I'm not doing anything. But I go to turn into the gas station, his car, like the way he's driving, like the little metal thing hit up against my shit. So I'm like, excuse my language, it hits up against the back of my bumper. So I drive up, you know, I speed up and park. So I sit there and I wait for him. I'm sitting there for about 10 minutes. So I put my hands out the car like this, you know, what's going on. So that's when he finally comes out and he's like, why do you have your door open with your hands? I'm like, I'm just letting you know I don't have nothing, you know. I'm just, you know, you were sitting there for 10 minutes. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So as I'm doing that, that's when he telling me, get out the car, get out the car. I'm like, for what? You know, tell me what you're stopping me for. You know, so I'm, you know, basically, you know, tell me what you're stopping me for. What was going on? He decides to pull me out, rush me up a little bit, throws me in the back of the car. I start recording from that point on. So I start recording from that point on. From that point on, I start recording. I'm sorry.
Bro, you told us you started recording like 3-4 times. We got that part, man. We got it. You recording?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm in the back of the car. An unmarked car pulls up. A white truck pulls up, and they just basically proceed to bum rush my car. When I go into my I believe the other guy was Alfonso Cole. There was some short white guy in a white shirt. They went in there they were ransacking my car. Like, I mean, if you look at the way I keep my car and the way that the car looked after they got done with it, not to mention the way they looked when they got into Eastern. It's immaculate. I keep it immaculate. I have pictures of the day whenever I drove the car off. I have pictures of what it looked like when it was on the impound lot. I had a 750 Li BMW Alpina.
What year?
Yeah, them were some nice cars.
They don't make them no more. The V12 McLaren engines.
Right. How was the car after they left?
It was destroyed.
How so?
I mean, the curtains were snatched off the back of the back curtain. The side curtains were tore up.
Make them pay for all that shit.
Open my the armrest in order to get inside to get the money, and where the marijuana and the gummies were held at, because they weren't on my seat. They were locked in a thing.
What did you have locked in your glove compartment?
I have my money in there.
Center console, or are you referring to?
No, it's in the middle, because on BMWs, on the Li, it's almost like
It's between the seats?
yeah, it does sit between the seats though.
Okay, well, what did you have locked in that
I
compartment?
had my weed, I had my gummies in there. I had roughly about an ounce and a half. And then as far as the gummies, about 4 packs of gummies.
Gummies with drugs in them?
Yeah, THC gummies. Well, mind you, I'm not getting illegal or nothing like that. Like, yeah, okay, so anyway, it's a THC gummies.
What kind of gun was it?
I had no gun. I said gummies.
I'm not familiar with the. Is that like edibles? Like the THC gummies? Is that like some edibles and shit? Like the CBD joints? Y'all let me know. I'm out the loop. I ain't partook since college, so
Okay, no gun. All right.
No gun. THC.
that was a long time ago.
Like I said, some cash on me from my PUA. It's about 3,000. It's in the 3,000 area. I can know the exact number because I know exactly how much it came in on the PUA on the day that happened. The day that happened was July 7th, I believe.
How do you know it?
Excuse me?
How do you have to know the exact amount? So you gotta,
Because it came in on my PUA that day.
how do you what?
It came in on my PUA that day. I'm never gonna forget that day because I recorded the one and I told him he'll see me again. I mean, it's on my Facebook. I have everything. I have his arrogance. I have all the shit he talk. I mean, the stuff he talk. I kept the receipts. I recorded it right there in front of him, and I told him he's the only person that ever pulled me over. Don't nobody pull me over because I don't drive crazy. I recorded it on my phone. It's on my Facebook as we speak.
Make them cut the check.
I walked inside of East Cleveland that night, and I told them, proceeded to tell them everything that happened. East Cleveland Police Department.
Hey, what's right is right.
Several times.
Make them cut the check. I would sue everybody,
They have an opening
especially
window.
the offending officer,
Speak to them and you
the
tell
crooked
them
off.
the complaint that may have happened to you, to whether it was a person out here or one of their officers. They chose to ignore me. When I first came into the building,
Sue them too.
they slammed the window in my face several times as I told them what was going on. They said that they weren't here, so it doesn't have nothing to do with it.
They weren't here?
They weren't there. It wasn't their shift, so they don't give a damn. That's what they told me.
Sound like y'all need to clear out that whole police department.
I just let it go. Eventually, I got a call from Detective Nucka, and and then the FBI, and I started putting together and trying to help them put together this case for me.
So the police and FBI contacted you after about those incidents?
Yes, sir.
How they have to contact you, you know?
Because I was the person who kept on pushing forward with this. If it wasn't for the robbing the guy who was going to go pay for his mother's funeral.
Just like I don't like thieves, period. I don't like thieves. I don't like none of that shit. Breaking motherfuckers' cars, cribs, and shit. I don't like people like that. And you wearing a badge doing that? I don't like you even more. That is some distasteful ass shit. You deserve to be put under the jail. As ABL would say, big rocks, little rocks.
Because I was the person who went forward with this. If it wasn't for the guy who got robbed going to go pay for his mother's funeral and it didn't make the news, we probably wouldn't be here today.
You have to explain it to me.
Because nobody was taking any action. This has been going on in East Cleveland for over 20 years.
Okay, you said something about a guy with a funeral that probably...
Yes, there was a guy who was going to a funeral who was robbed by these same two clowns. And whenever it happened is whenever everybody made a big deal over it, because who wants to see somebody get robbed when they're paying for their mother's funeral?
Well, did you have, did that prompt you to go, or that just...
No, I had already...
So these bozos is out robbing people too? Big rocks, little rocks. License plates. Get them they zebra stripes.
Went prior to that. I walked all through East Cleveland building. I could have let off a damn bomb there and wouldn't have nobody known, because they weren't in there. They didn't give a damn. They weren't doing their jobs.
Okay, so you said a third incident. Was there a third incident?
That is the third incident. The second incident, he didn't take shit from me because I ain't have nothing.
Okay, well, tell me about that.
He just pulled over and asked me about my tent, told me to get it taken care of, and he was gone.
And who was that?
Him? Willie Warner Sims.
Him and
Willie Warner
He was just him by
Sims.
himself. Every time he gave me his him by himself.
who the circumstances that
I was somewhere coming down from the Coventry in that little area, and he came hopping out of the forgot the name of those buildings right there. It's right across from where that you'll see like a.
what is near there? What store or...
There's not a store, nothing. It's just a building right there. I mean, it's in between Forest Hill or not Forest Hill. Yeah, I believe that's Forest Hill and Coventry.
So what happened?
Nothing. Like I said, he just pulled me over.
Well, how did he know you didn't have anything?
Because he checked the car and he did everything he did, and nothing came missing because I didn't have it.
Then keep telling me what happened.
They just pulled me over and he did the normal search that he normally does.
The normal crooked search.
He'll pull you over, says that you're speeding. If you debate that you're speeding, he'll say something else, and then when you debate that, he'll go to the tent, and then he'll pull out his little thing, check the front of the tent, you know,
And you say that he searched...
and then he'll pull you out the car. Yeah, because I mean,
Where were you when he searched your car?
I was right there. I was driving down Forest Hill.
No.
I mean down
Were you in a
Superior Hill.
police car, or were you...
No, I wasn't in a police car. I was standing outside of it.
Yeah, did he say he knew what he was looking for, or you asked him?
No, he doesn't. They don't say what they're looking for.
Okay. Did you have any further conversation about the search?
I cussed them all out every time I see him.
So, you say he found nothing in life.
Nah, I didn't have nothing to take, so he left.
Did you get a ticket that day?
No, I didn't get a ticket. I told you I never got a ticket from this man until that last time whenever I was going off like that on him, and that's when I finally got the ticket. And whenever I went to East Cleveland, they dismissed it.
Okay, all right, thank you. So, the East Cleveland police detective and the FBI contact, and you went in, and did you give them information to state?
Yes, I talked to Detective Knuckle on several occasions, and at one point, I believe their case got dropped. And somehow, through her, she got it picked up, and that's why we're here today.
Okay, now I assume we covered the incident, right? Okay. Now you have the opportunity, the third opportunity, to tell me what you think should...
All right. I want to see this dude's sentencing. Because he's obviously a piece of shit. Should have never been allowed to have a badge to begin with. Let me see if that's on this video anywhere.
He had anger, obviously, but he was seeing the...
Yeah, he looked like a pookie pig. Pig pookie. Big rocks, little rocks. I'm gonna leave a link to the... I'm gonna leave a link to this video down in the description box. You guys can watch it in its totality without me interrupting. Let me know what y'all think.
Nonetheless, I hope he's persistent in his efforts to collect that money and obtains a judgment and enforces it later when you're done with your time. are earning money and collect. It takes a lot of stamina and determination to ever reach that point. But what's interesting is he also, he didn't seem to take personal animosity with you. Almost wished you the best, not quite, but almost. And he pointed out that you're underpaid, and that the police are underpaid. That looking at the pre-sentence report, your pay rate was $18.75 per hour. That is a low rate, ridiculously low. But
He's a fucking criminal. Charge him as such.
it doesn't justify doing that. You know, it's astonishingly poor pay for a police officer when they're lying, who would put their life correctly on the line for the citizens. But it doesn't justify robbing even drug dealers or others to self-pay. Your actions of yourself and your co-defendants have disgraced the hard-working police, including the hard-working police in East Cleveland. I know East Cleveland police officers over the years have been tremendous police officers, hard-working police, excellent officers, excellent investigators. All of them, alive and dead, are shaken and disgraced by this. And all police officers in general. Just for the public to realize that police officers are capable of such kind. It's shocking even to me. The whole event is shocking to me, even being around in this building since 50 years before they opened it. You know, this is shocking events. You've shaken the confidence of the public in the criminal justice system and the trust in put in police officers. So that's perhaps your biggest crime. So you deserve the sentence. The court thinks it's a fair sentence that the state and the defense have agreed to, and the defendant has pled to 2 years, and this court imposed a sentence at the penitentiary. In addition to the $2,081 to Mr. Withrow, $5,000 restitution to Mr. Brown, the court's going to impose a maximum fine on the 4 robberies of $10,000 each, the $40,000 fine, and pay and cost. Defendant can work off his cost, the rest fine, can't work off the restitution, cost and fine, with community service at the penitentiary at the pleasure and discretion of the warden and the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction. They have programs in which people can do community work to be paid a sum.
Lock him under the jail.
Warden designates that would be credited towards that $40,000 fine and the cost.
Man, all right, I'm gonna put the link down in the description box. I'm getting a little triggered because this type of shit pisses me off. I mean, like, really, you running out here, you and your goons robbing people and shit. Y'all ain't no different than the pookies that's on the block out there doing what they doing. Y'all got badges. Y'all have more power to do to enforce y'all will on people. People move out of the way when y'all come through for the most part. And you just shaking people down. Hey, how much money you got? And dudes will sue the shit out of y'all for tearing his car up. And I hope he get, you know what I'm saying? I hope he get what he sued for, whatever he asking for. Y'all some scumbags. And it might be some good cops left in that police department, but it ain't looking good for y'all right now. From what I'm seeing right here. Y'all letting this goofball run around and get into all kinds of shit and rob and steal from people. Man. You know what? I'm gonna fade out on that. Yo, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the Cash App, $, Cobra Clutch 357. And I'm glad this dude got what he deserved. Big rocks, little rocks, license plates, and a freshly pressed zebra suit. I'm out.